Nice and windy here by the ocean this morning. 5:45. It's warmer out this morning than it was last week. This wind's nice too. That thing's cool out there. It's like a little house type thing, a little gazebo. You walk out on this walk, this sort of walkway that goes out to it, and you can sit out there. It's kind of cool. Again, great time to be around because there's nobody around. I found that just gotta wipe the lenses down. There you go. I found that photo of that demon I was trying to find, the one with the jughead crown. Occasionally I talk about this fucking jughead crown thing, and I did a video on it a few weeks ago or a week ago, whatever. And how I was saying it always ties into, you know, weird evil shit, occult stuff. A lot of demons have this crown thing they wear. And I was talking about this photo. I couldn't find it, but it popped up. It came across my transom. Now, I don't know what this is, what the origins of this is, but it's supposed to be some kind of demonic figure. And the point of the exercise is he has the hat on too. He has the jughead hat on. So I don't know what that thing is. I still haven't found any information or leads on that, or what the occult meaning of it is. And I've been looking at a couple of years now. I've been looking at that thing, trying to figure that out. But it just pops up. It just pops up in different stuff. But yeah, there you go. So that's that. Got one thing covered already. Traffic's starting to pick up here. Prince Trujillo rocking the lays per usual. That's good. I was looking at this thing yesterday about how Adolf Hitler was actually a Rothschild. I knew he was controlled opposition, but who was placed there, you know, because that's how they do things. They create their opposition, and they have their opposition do to them what they would need to be done to them in order for them to create new laws or new idea or new whatever the fuck they want to create. They work backwards, you know. If they you know, they work backwards, whatever that backwards word is. Re-engineer, retrofit. What the fuck word am I looking for? Anyway, yeah, I didn't know he was a Rothschild, but I knew he was Jewish, and I knew he was funded by. I mean, you can find it's easy to find the funding for him. It comes from America, the Bush family, a couple other families. His money was coming from the U.S. It's the same thing that they're doing with Hamas. They fund Hamas because they decide what they want or what they need or what protections they want to put in place. Then they create the scenario themselves using their own opposition that they create to attack them or supposedly attack them. Usually there is no real attack or harm done to people, and if it is, it's minimal. A lot of stuff that happened in the World War II thing came from the Allies bombing the supply run, whatever the fuck you call it. They're bombing the supplies. It's early, it's morning time. And yeah, so I mean, a lot of them starved from that. That whole, but I think people are beginning to get more hip to that event. Like younger kids seem to be like, you know, they just look at the math and, you know, they laugh. But you really the way they get you, right, is they play on your emotions, right? So when you're emotional about something, you're like, oh, it's horrible, they did that to those people, you know, your reasoning becomes submerged, and it's very hard to think critically when you're in an emotional state. you know, especially when they just pile on these stories that, you know, in hindsight now are fucking ridiculous. The roller coaster, they would all load them into a roller coaster that would end with them being dumped in the fire. The masturbation machine, the eagle cage and the bear cage, just like they were just, you know, they'd talk to these air quote survivors, and it was like they were just fucking trolling the people that were talking to them about it. Oh yeah, this one guy, they froze him in a freezer, and then when they let him out, he fell on the ground, smashed into 1,000,000 pieces. You know, just all these crazy like execution methods that don't make any sense, and with no one would ever do. The whole thing about the lampshade stuff. I mean, my mom, as a kid, I remember her telling me that they made lampshades out of their skin. I was like, holy shit, that's fucking crazy. You think about it now, and all I think about is those fucking assholes. Imagine telling people that, horrifying people. Well, if they horrify you, you can't think critically, because you're wrapped up in your emotions, your feelings, and then, you know, so the further it gets away from the event, the more people can look at it for what it is and just say, no, there's no way. You know, it's a math problem. It's just a simple math problem. But the thing is, I mean, I can kind of say that here, but in a lot of other countries I wouldn't be able to say that. I'd go to jail. In many countries, it can't even be researched, or else you go to jail. There's a lot of things connected to that will put you in jail. It's funny, like, you hear these things, like the last World War II. No, they're like the last World War II soldier died today, you know, this old veteran. You know, you hear that every once in a while. Like, they'll talk about how, yeah, and it's like, if he was the last one, then who was the last three? And who are the three I'm going to hear? But anyway, for every one of those guys you get, there's like a fucking ton of concentration camp survivors. Like, they're still alive, they're still fucking putting and, you know, telling stories and collecting fucking money. And it's like, well, how did, you know what I mean? Did they just pass on the story to like their daughter, and then the daughter says she was there? They weren't, most of them weren't there anyway, you know, in the camps, you know. They were getting them prepared to ship them out, just to get them out of the country. But, you know, whatever, I'm not going to go into them. You know, if you're here, right, then you probably know about that shit. It's a dead issue. But that's what happens to all the big stories like that. Like, over time, you just look at it, like, even the 9/11 thing, like, that was 20 years ago now. Yeah, as soon as it happened, I started talking shit. I'm like, that's our own fucking government. And people got really mad, you know, because they're all up in their feelings about it. And, you know, time goes on, in the cold light of day, you can look at it and go, how the fuck were those buildings vaporized? Like, I saw this meme, right, talking about why wasn't there any debris in the on the bottom floor in the lobby. There was no debris. If all those floors fell down, it's because there were no floors in these buildings. They were facade buildings. They only had a couple floors on them. The rest of them were empty. There's photographs at sunset. If I could find one, I'll pull it up. Or sunset and sundown, when it shows the sun coming through the buildings, and they're just empty. You know, there's a few floors. There's the floor where the Jewish art students were, the E-team, who helped to wire up all the building. There's no one in there to have to work around because there's no one in there. They were empty. It's big empty. They had a couple floors for show, you know. And if you've ever been to buildings in that area downtown, I was in that area. I stayed in, I guess it must have been, I don't know if it was building 7, but I stayed in that plaza. And a lot of elevators you go into, this is back in 1990, I was at the CMJ Music Festival. There, it was like a meeting where a bunch of different record labels would meet every year. College Music Journal. And there'd be A&R people and guys from different bands and stuff. Anyway, certain buildings you get into, the elevator panel, you'd have all these floors, but some of them were blocked off on their own panel that you needed a key to be able to access, and you'd have a choice between like 6 different floors. So it's like, it's kind of easy to conceal. You know, it isn't like anyone's ever going to be able to just go over those other floors that aren't there, because you need a key to get to those floors. You know, you have to put it in, turn the thing, and then to use that panel. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it was empty. So there was nothing to fall. There's nothing to fall into it. And plus, on top of it, they were using a thing kind of like they had in Maui, where it was like, let me get out of here. They had a thing like they had in Maui, where it was a microwave laser, allegedly. And that disintegrates stuff. It just fucking melts fucking metal. You know, it doesn't leave anything. So there isn't much debris to fall down in that controlled demolition. And then you look at it today, and it's like, it's the same thing as the fucking Earth being around and all that shit. You can do very simple science on your own. Just take like a fucking, build a Lego building, and fucking put a Lego plane into the side of it, and see where it breaks and how it falls. You know, I don't know exactly how it would fall or where it would break, but I can tell you that it wouldn't fucking just implode into its own footprint. It's fucking retarded. But at the time, you're like, holy shit, you know, like, look at, wow, this is a big spectacle, an attack, all this stuff. And because of your emotional response to it, your critical thinking, it becomes completely submerged. And it takes a while for that to wear off. And then on top of it, like in the situation of the 9/11 thing, it's a spell and it's a ritual. It's a spell that is like a big loosh harvester. It gets all the eyes of the world to look at this one thing at once that's very negative. And everybody that looks at it goes like, oh my God, and they're, you know, fear, anger, disgust, all these emotions, all these low vibrational emotions from all of these people around the world in that moment and in the weeks following. All that anguish, they were eating good. And at the same time, there's all spells worked into it, like a lot of different spells that they did rituals for. There's ceremonial magic involved in it too, all over the place. You know, days prior to it, they had these shows at the base of at the 2 towers, had at the base of it. Matt Quantum of Conscience, he actually has a good, he does a lot of 9/11 stuff. I don't really watch him anymore. I kind of got everything I need to get out of him. But, yeah, he has some great 9/11 stuff. He has this one documentary that takes place. The film starts a couple of days before it happens. They just so happen to be doing a documentary on the World Trade Center days before it happened. So the documentary about the World Trade Center turned into a documentary about the event. What luck, huh? And there's all this foreshadowing in the footage before. Like all these little symbols you can see that relate to the event that hadn't happened yet because it was happening in a couple of days. It's just all Talmudic, satanic fucking bullshit, black magic stuff. It's fucking, you know, it's, it kind of makes you mad. It makes me mad. You know, if I didn't, I mean, if I didn't know a lot about it, it probably would be interesting. Like if a normie saw it and actually watched it, it would blow their fucking mind. Or maybe it wouldn't. I don't really, I can't really tell anymore how much life there is in a lot of these people. Like they have a limited amount of responses to things. And I think they would just, they'd get the system message to viciously attack you verbally. Do you know what I mean? Well, it's first, it's ridicule is the first thing. They'll make fun of you on this stuff. Then they get angry. And then after the anger comes dismissal. They'll just stop talking to you. And they marginalize you as a person. They move you for their conversations. Yeah, he's crazy. So anything he says or she says can't be taken seriously because they've already determined that You can see the fucking matrix. And even though they're not thinking it in their front brain, their subconscious is. Your subconscious runs you. 90 fucking percent of the things you do during the day aren't decisions you're making in real time in the front of your brain. These are things that are happening in your subconscious. They just, you know, through repetition or through routine, it runs shit for you. And if it learns a bad habit, which is what they're always trying to teach your subconscious through, you know, media, whether it's TV or movies or something, bad habits, you can really be fucked because it's running your shit, you know? Yeah, your brain is not your friend. It will fuck you around, you know, big time. So, I don't know, whatever. I don't know how we got onto that, but I'll just enjoy the hour of the day when there's no one out here. It's good. Yeah, sometimes I'll be out here and it's like, I won't even have anything on my mind, and I'll just fire it up. And I usually come up with something, but, you know, I like to get the, I like to film out here when I can, when it's not like dodging through people. Although dodging through people, I'll tell you, it does, I think, it's like practice. You know, for if I was to ever do like a presentation, like a regular presentation, I think it helps me to learn to do that better after doing this for going on 3 years. Now, what would it be? 3 years in March, I guess. Yeah, so. Yeah, having to think on your feet, it's good exercise. When you're trying to dodge people and stay away from certain people. Just keep your wits about you. Head on a swivel. All that fun stuff. My onboard security is usually running now, and it's almost back to how it used to be. It got soft for a while. When I first moved here, it was really different, so I almost didn't even have to use it. I'm like, Asians don't give a fuck about what I do, and I'm not worried about old white people. So white, I don't mean white, Caucasian people. I don't like to try not to use the terms white or black. You know, that's, once you start using those terms, then you're in their gay little game. So you have to reject that kind of shit. You know, I'm Irish. I'm from Ireland. My people are from Ireland. Dark skinned people are Africans. They're from Africa. You know, and that's it. And that's it. What is an American? I don't know. We don't know who used to be here. And they say, oh, the American Indians. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. That whole story is bullshit. A lot of stories in history are bullshit. This is just like a weird place that they made to, I didn't even hear what he said. This is just like a weird kind of place that they built to kind of use to launder money and collect resources for another place that they made up that's out in the desert. So it's, no one's really from here that we know of in our, you know, timeline. So I don't know. You know, I don't really call myself American. I don't even know what it is. You know, I don't even know what that means. I certainly wouldn't want to be associated with any of the stuff it stands for now. You know, no fucking way. Fucking Ireland's getting bad too, though. It's almost like the same thing over there. Well, I mean, they're trying. You know, they're trying to do it everywhere. Either everything's going to come down, which it should, which probably is what has to happen. I mean, there is no, you know, there's a lot of people like, yeah, we got to turn around. We have to take our countries back from immigrants and stuff. Nah, just fucking let it all go. Let it all burn to the ground. You can't do anything, like, what kind of world are you going to make out of that? God's going to just fucking solve everything. We're at the end anyway. We're going to find out soon enough, you know. Hermes. Kind of funny. A lot of like weird occult stuff around here. There's always some kind of strange, not not beautiful. These people aren't into beauty. These Satanists aren't into beauty. Like, look at this. What the fuck is this? I've got a matrix, man. It's about ugliness. You know, they don't like beauty. You get chains, some disturbing looking people. A star, the light, the way. I have to tell you what that is. Yeah, it's all there. Surprised you don't have red shoes there. Whatever. It's everywhere, man. Just got to endure. Hang in there. We've already won. You just have to fucking take the knee and run out the clock. The clock's running. Don't blame the teacher. Blame the school.